In the 11th season of The Simpsons, the 17th episode called Bart to the Future originally aired on Fox News Network in the year 2000. In this episode, it shows Lisa Simpson becoming the first female president of the United States. And what's really strange about this is in the episode, Lisa is wearing a purple suit with white pearls. And Lisa's outfit from the episode is fueling speculation about the show's accuracy because of Kamala Harris's purple suit with white pearls. And while some believe The Simpsons' predictions are almost uncanny, others suggest it's just luck from writing so many episodes. So are the writers of The Simpsons time travelers? Is this all just predictive programming telling us what they're planning on doing before they actually do it? Or is it something completely different? Well, in this video, we're going to discuss just that. Ripple's co-founder signed a letter endorsing Harris for president. What does this mean for Ripple XRP? What else did this episode hint at about mosquitoes taking over? What does that have to do with the World Mosquito Program, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation?
I'd like to call to order this secret conclave of America's media empires.
The truth about helicopters dropping an endless amount of genetically modified mosquitoes.
We're here to come up with the next phony baloney crisis to put Americans back where they belong, in dark rooms glued to their televisions, too terrified to skip the commercials.
What Bill Gates has to do with this and Agenda 2030. How this has all been planned for decades, with Bill explaining the internet to a skeptical David Letterman back in 1995. What also took place in the exact same Simpsons episode about Lisa imposing a tax rise to get the country out of debt. What Kamala Harris's plan to tax unrealized investment gains means for the wealthiest Americans. What Ripple is doing right now that is straight out of The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Chris Larsen and Ripple's connection to the IMF, the World Economic Forum. The reason why this is happening as Ripple gears up to launch their stablecoin potentially in a matter of weeks rather than months. Where we are right now with Bitcoin's price structure comparing back to 2019. The last 3 times after Bitcoin's halving, exactly what happened and the most likely scenario to happen next, based on Bitcoin cycles and if history will repeat itself, and what's taking place for the entire altcoin market, and exactly what to do to be able to make the most amount of money possible to secure your financial future. That way you don't get left behind. So comment 777 if you're feeling blessed, if you're feeling bullish, and as always, if you're going to become the first millionaire in your family tree, confirm it by tapping the like button, subscribing to the channel. As always, let's run it.
And when we all sing happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas, how dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
Merry Christmas, everyone. Christmas is a time of hope and joy, and to celebrate our favorite family traditions.
All right, Bull Runners, welcome back to the channel. So right after this was posted, everyone's saying, get out of here. Christmas coming up. You're not allowed to speak Merry Christmas. If you do, how dare you? We got a lot to unpackage for you guys in this video. You're going to absolutely love this. Over the past week, this has actually been the longest time that I've taken off from making videos. I've been making videos for about 4 years, nearly every single day. So it feels a little weird, but also refreshing as well too, to take a full week off. And over the past week, we've seen the markets take another dip, dropping, some projects 10, 15, 20%, leaving people to wonder what's going on. So we're going to talk all about that in this video. So for the rest of this year, I'm back in Miami. I'm going to be covering the news daily for you guys. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I spent the week visiting family over in Idaho, where I'm from, where we were spending time golfing, going to different wineries. I used to golf a lot growing up, so I'm trying to get back into it. My swing is absolutely atrocious right now. So in our downtime, we went to a speakeasy to grab a few drinks to forget about those triple bogeys that I racked up on the round. And now that we're back in Miami, I'm excited to be bringing you guys the best information on a consistent basis to help you live the lifestyle of your dreams. Now, the coolest part about that trip was I was earning about 1,000 to 2,000 XRP per day through the largest liquidity pool on the XRP Ledger, and also the #1 play to earn XRP game. And if you guys want to learn how that's possible, you can check that out through the link in the description below, or you can simply go to bullrunners.com and discover how to earn more crypto in less than 10 minutes per day by simply putting your crypto to work for you. You just click the button on the page below, put in your best email address, watch the 8-minute video on the other side, and I'll show you how to stack up your crypto rewards so you can live the lifestyle that you want, spending more time with family, traveling the world, doing exactly what you want to do. Also, hang to the end of this video and I'll explain exactly more about that. But first, let's talk about this year's Bitcoin price structure, looking eerily similar to 2019. If we take a close look at this chart right here, it's almost a perfect fractal of what we saw back then, according to Julian Biddle, where Bitcoin has been stuck in a consolidation phase And interestingly enough, just like in 2019, this consolidation, it lasted exactly 175 days so far. Now, we're now approaching that critical juncture where things start moving in a big way. The next week will be incredibly important to watch. All eyes are on how Bitcoin reacts as we hit this potential inflection point. So does it follow the 2019 script, or do we see a deviation this time around? If this fractal holds, we could be looking at some serious upside momentum coming soon. And if we look at this chart right here, which is the Bitcoin stock to flow model, the last 3 times after Bitcoin's halving, there was a massive face melting bull run. So the real question is, will this time be different? Will we deviate and do something contrary to what has happened every single bull run? Because if you guys look back from 2012 to 2014, when Bitcoin halved and we went from red to orange, we went absolutely parabolic. And point number 2, when Bitcoin halved, we saw some volatility for a few months after that, obviously, but when we went from red to orange and then yellow and then light green, parabolic blow off top. Point number 3, same thing happened. The volatility is where people get shaken out in the short term because they're so zoomed in on what's happening on a day-to-day basis, and they see these crazy 5, 10, 15, 20% swings in some of their favorite altcoin projects that only have maybe 100 million, 50 million, even $500 million market cap. They get sold off tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars over the matter of 24 to 48 hours. So they freak out. They think it's over, but we're still right along schedule. And over the next few minutes, I want to explain what's happening because people want to know if history will repeat itself. If you look at Bitcoin cycle right here, according to Crypto Rover, we also share this on Twitter as well too. If you guys want to follow us, go to BullRunners HQ on Twitter. If you have a Twitter account, we're starting to post over there more. Well, a lot of people have a contrary belief here. And if we look at the miner capitulation data, which shows the profitability for miners based on the block since difficulty bottom, we can see every single time during the last cycles post-halving where we were. And if you look at these red circles on the screen right now on the chart, even with the differences in price action, if we look at the similarities in terms of the color code, there's nothing too out of the ordinary of what's happening. In previous videos over the past few months, I've been talking about this, about how roughly 3 to 12 months after Bitcoin's halving, we see some volatility, we see some consolidation. We don't just go up right away. So for people that are new to the market, that were expecting all the institutional demand and everything to drive Bitcoin past $100,000 before the halving or even on the halving, number one, simply haven't been around for enough bull runs. I got in the crypto market 2016, 17, so I was around for that bull run. 2021, and now this bull run being my 3rd bull run. I personally believe history is going to repeat itself and we still have further to the upside to go. Why would institutions like BlackRock be diving full-fledged into crypto ETFs if they didn't think that crypto had a future? I think you guys know the answer to that. Now, it doesn't mean that they're not going to shake people out. In fact, there's a lot of people that need to be shaken out of this market, especially newbies that think it's just a smooth ride right to the top. And we'll get into that with the art of war and what Ripple's doing. But first, what's happening with Ripple's co-founder signing a letter endorsing Kamala Harris for president? Well, he's among multiple people who've signed this, and a report cited this letter was signed by 88 corporate leaders in the United States and mentioned other prominent signees, including Aaron Levy, who's the co-founder and CEO of the enterprise cloud company called Box, Yelp CEO Jeremy, Snap chairman Michael, and former 21st Century Fox CEO James Murdoch, among many others. And in early August, a former Ripple board member, Gene Sperling, left the White House to join Kamala Harris's 2024 presidential campaign. And this has led a lot of people to take to Twitter and post a lot of nasty things about Ripple as a company and say, I'm selling my XRP because of this, getting all emotional, getting all their panties in a bunch and freaking out here. So let's create a discussion here if this is a good thing or a bad thing. One thing I want to bring up right now is Ripple was not hacked for $112 million, but its co-founder Chris Larsen was a while back. If you guys remember this, in January of this year, there was an unauthorized access to a few of Chris Larsen's personal XRP accounts, not Ripple's accounts, which were quickly able to catch the problem and notify exchanges to freeze the effective addresses. Where you can see right here on January 30th, 69 million XRP was sent to this wallet, 69 to this, 10 million to this wallet, and then 20 million, 23 million, 9 million, 9 million, and then 399,000 sent in different transactions to different wallets, leading Chris Larsen to post saying this is an isolated incident and Ripple wallets are secure, they never were compromised. And people responded back saying, you as a chairman of Ripple should know how to secure your digital assets. This is a very bad look for you personally, and we need to understand what custody solution you use and how this happened. Transparency is of the utmost importance. And now Chris Larsen is endorsing Kamala Harris. So Ripple doesn't seem to be getting a break from this guy. But this doesn't come as a shocker because Ripple has a vast team and different board members have different viewpoints. Since joining Ripple's board in 2015, this guy by the name of Sperling has served as an economic advisor under Bill Clinton and Barack Obama in its President Joe Biden's administration since 2021. And right here you can see a picture on the left is Sperling and former U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Ben Bernanke at Ripple's Swell Conference back in 2017 on the right. And then on the contrary, on the opposite side of the spectrum, Ripple's Chief Legal Officer Stuart Alderoty, or is it Alderoty? I still don't know how to say his name. I always butcher these names, but he donated $300,000 in XRP to Donald Trump, where he sent 624,000 XRP to Trump's campaign, which was subsequently converted to the stablecoin USDC, reflecting an exchange rate at around 48 cents per XRP. So Trump doesn't hold this XRP anymore, as his campaign procedure was to convert all received cryptocurrencies to USDC stablecoin. And this contribution came at a time when Trump's shifted his pro-crypto stance to gain more votes. So this donation was not publicly disclosed to have a reason for the contribution. And there's a general belief that Trump, if reelected, would replace the SEC chairman with a pro-crypto advocate that would be better than Gary Gensler. As Trump said, his first day in office, he would fire Gary Gensler. And so Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse predicted that the SEC chair, Gary Gensler, would step down no matter who wins the election. And so there seems to be a conflict of interest of donations to the Democratic Party or the Republican Party from key people that work at Ripple. And so why the reason for this? Well, that's three words, and that's art of war. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. And if we just go to ChatGPT and ask, what does this mean and how does one do it? Well, this quote is attributed to Sun Tzu in The Art of War and it emphasizes the importance of winning conflicts strategically without resorting to direct combat. Now, if you guys know in debate or in life in general, if you want to win someone over, the easiest way is to agree with them. And the idea is that the most skillful way to achieve victory is by weakening or outmaneuvering your opponent mentally, emotionally, or diplomatically. So they are defeated before physical or confrontation becomes necessary. Now, in this case, we're not necessarily talking about physical war, like fighting with guns or swords here. Number one would be diplomatic solutions to resolve conflict through negotiation, compromise, and building alliances to avoid war or direct competition. So what Ripple is doing right now is they're building alliances on both sides of the spectrum, which can involve creating agreements that serve both parties' interests. So that way they get what they want either way, which is the smartest move that they can possibly do. Number two is psychological advantages. Outmaneuvering your opponent by creating uncertainty, fear, or doubt. For example, in business, this might mean establishing a strong reputation or influencing public opinion in your favor, making your competitor hesitate or reconsider direct competition. And so as you guys know, politics is a big game of donations to get things signed in your favor or moved around in your favor. So if they're donating to both sides, they're hedging their risk there to be able to strategically win over an enemy. Also, number three is resource control. Gaining control over key resources, markets, or information that your opponent relies on. If you control the factors they need to survive or succeed, they may surrender without a fight. And then we have disruption tactics. And number five, which is the most important, that is understanding the enemy, where you can know your opponent so well that you can predict their moves and avoid confrontation while still achieving your goals. This allows you to stay several steps ahead without needing to directly confront them. And so key higher-ups at Ripple have been known to support Republicans and have been known to support Democrats. They're playing both sides here. And just like Stewart did not publicly disclose his reasoning for donating to Trump, he just simply joined a long list of donors along with the broader crypto community that is rallying behind Trump. So with the supreme art of war to subdue the enemy without even fighting, in my opinion, that's exactly what Ripple's doing. And to summarize, according to artificial intelligence, which is smarter than the average irrational monkey brain in the human mind, in essence, it's about using intelligence, strategy, and influence to neutralize threats or opposition without needing to engage in direct confrontation, maximizing efficiency and minimizing risk. You do that with your portfolio through diversification. So if they're diversifying their political interest, that's how they master the art of war. And if we look right here, Chris Larsen over at Ripple is featured as a member of the International Monetary Fund's, the IMF's high-level advisory group on finance and technology. Additionally, Chris is also a member of the World Economic Forum. So people are acting surprised that he's following the agenda, when in reality, he's just playing his role. Alongside Jeremy right here at the top, you can see from Circle, which is USDC stablecoin, and a lot of these other prominent figures at the top of the financial food chain. So I thought this was a great video right here by Lori Reports, telling you to divorce Ripple characters and trust XRP technologies. The two are not the same.
Ripple technology does not play politics. It does not take away from the value of XRP. You do not have to be in a relationship with Ripple. You wisely do what you need to do with your finances.
So with Chris Larson signing a letter endorsing Harris for president, I'm personally not surprised. Now the real question here in the juicy details of this video is the Simpsons predicting Kamala Harris's presidency, with her wearing a purple suit, white pearls, Lisa wearing a purple suit with white pearls. Well, let's dive into this because everyone knows The Simpsons. I used to watch this show growing up, and The Simpsons has a lot of hidden predictions in it, like Donald Trump becoming president, and then they showed Trump in a casket. So the assassination attempt on Trump failed, but will there be another assassination attempt that could be successful? That would be eerie if that were to happen, because then the Simpsons prophecy would be something that could come true. And I'm not saying it would or it wouldn't, but it originally aired this episode called Bart to the Future, Fox News Network, in March 19th of the year 2000. So 24 years ago, guys. And if we look at the plot for this, which is the most interesting part, the Simpsons drive to the park for a picnic, but discover that it had been overrun by mosquitoes. So let's dive into that part first, because if we go to the worldmosquitoprogram.org, the Gates Foundation, the World Mosquito Program with Partners in Change, posted about this. This is a company that they say works to protect the global community from mosquito-borne diseases, and they have a mosquito factory where they genetically modify mosquitoes, and this is supported by the Gates Foundation. They're saying on the website that they've protected millions of people around the world from mosquito-borne diseases. And then this video right here was fact-checked, saying that it is to control diseases by releasing genetically modified male and thus non-biting mosquitoes that find and mate with the invasive female species, thus reducing the overall population. So I thought this was really interesting, because why, in the same episode of them predicting Lisa becoming president, looking similar to Kamala Harris with the purple suit and white pearls, did they put mosquitoes in the episode? And this year we see massive amounts of videos popping out there about mosquitoes being released, and a lot of talks about Bill Gates on social media. Also, Bill Gates repping Agenda 2030 lapel on his shirt. And last year, around the same month in September, he was in New York City saying, we need to support the global goals. And so, what goals are those that we may ask? The pin he is wearing is the symbol of the UN Agenda 2030, which is sustainability goals. In a nutshell, they totally plan on reducing the global population by 90%, according to the Patriot Voice. And this is the pathway to their new world order, one world government, to usher in 15-minute AI smart cities where you can get everything within 15 minutes of where you live. And they are rapidly accelerating this agenda. So the biggest question you might have right now is, how will this affect you and your family? And what can you do to be able to prepare yourself, to be able to protect your family, and be able to provide freedom for those that you love? Well, let's discuss that, because this has been planned for decades. If we look at this clip right here, Bill Gates explains the internet to a skeptical David Letterman back in 1995. And less than 15 years later, the whole world was on the internet. By 2030, we will all be using Web3 and crypto. There will be massive expansion in the metaverse. Artificial intelligence will become more sophisticated than ever before, and so much more.
How early did you realize you knew something that could be exploited and to this extreme?
Well, there were a small group of people who saw what this chip could do as it became more powerful. And we sort of felt like a special group because we were all working on it. And we thought someday these big computer companies are going to have a huge problem, and this thing is going to reach out to the entire world. But every year we just kept hiring more people, working on it. It's been 20 years since we started it, and we're not really to the full realization of that vision even today.
And so the full realization of this vision is blockchain technology, and they've been working on this for multiple decades. Now, if we go back to The Simpsons, as we talk about a lot in this video, you know, mosquitoes, we talk about Kamala Harris. Well, if we look at Lisa to impose a tax rise to get the country out of debt in the same episode, the leaders of America's creditor nations then demand America to pay them back. Well, coincidentally enough, here's what Kamala Harris's plan is to tax unrealized investment gains and what this means for the wealthiest Americans. In August, she endorsed tax increase propositions that were initially put out there by Joe Biden in his fiscal 2025 budget. One of the proposals is a 25% minimum tax on total income, including so-called unrealized gains or asset growth exceeding $100 million. So this would be known as the billionaire minimum tax. And as of June in 2023, there were over 10,000 centimillionaires, or people with at least $100 million in assets, living in the United States. So if this billionaire minimum tax is enacted, taxpayers with wealth above $100 million threshold would have to report unrealized gains for each asset class annually, including the basis or original purchase price, the market value as of December 31st, according to the U.S. Department of the Treasury. And currently, investors incur capital gains taxes of anywhere from 0%, depending on how they write that off their real estate, 15% or 20% after selling a profitable asset owned for more than 1 year. Plus, there's an additional 3.8% net investment income tax for higher earners. So they're pushing for this, but proposals have failed to gain traction. There's very little political support for this because it is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard in your life. Because to understand how it works, imagine if you invested in crypto or in the stock market and you had a lot of money and then it goes up, but you don't sell it. And then the year ends and then the market crashes into a bear market. Well, then you would be required to pay taxes on what you didn't sell, on what you didn't make, on money that you don't have, which is one of the craziest taxing policies in American history. So that would drive money overseas to banks in other countries and completely stifle innovation and businesses in the United States. And Mark Cuban even said, if you tax unrealized gains, you're going to absolutely kill the stock market. And while many Americans favor higher taxes on the wealthy, the only people who support that are people who are too lazy to come up with their own ideas, their own inventions, start their own businesses. So it's the whole Robin Hood philosophy that Hollywood has made to seem be a noble thing, when in reality, people that have accrued wealth through hard work, dedication, starting businesses have helped out a lot of people. And taxation in the first place is theft. And this policy poses significant administrative and compliance challenges, including liquidity concerns, possible gaming and IRS disputes, and would just be an absolute mess. So regardless of the predictions that the Simpsons made, regardless of whoever becomes president, whether it's Trump or Kamala Harris, the most important thing to focus on is what can you do to be able to financially benefit, to provide a better future for your family. Because I've said this in so many videos where as human beings, we're the only species that has to pay money to live on this planet. You know, a chimpanzee, a dog, a cat, a giraffe has to pay nothing to live. They get to live for free. They're just put in a cage, right? Or they're put in a house where they have to abide by our rules. But as human beings, because we have to pay, we have to abide by the elite's rules. And so when we look at what Ripple is doing, and as a company, how they're playing both sides of the spectrum here for who becomes president, well, Brad Garlinghouse says that Ripple is set to launch a US dollar stablecoin on the XRP Ledger in a matter of weeks that is going to be used by some of the most prominent institutions and banks all across the globe.
And you're coming here with sort of good news, I guess, for people who have been following what you do. You could be launching your stablecoin a bit faster than most people thought.
Well, we've always been kind of consistent that we're going to do everything we can to launch this year. Everything Ripple does is in conjunction with regulatory approval, licensing, and so a key issue that we will continue to make sure we are partnered with U.S. regulators before we go live with the stablecoin. We'll first issue it, we expect, in the U.S., but we think there's opportunity for stablecoins globally. And certainly Japan, as you, I think, probably know, they approved some legislation a year ago that came into effect this year. And so there's a process underway now to do stablecoins here in Japan as well. Yeah, I want to talk about that. But when we're talking about the U.S., we're talking about a matter of weeks for this launch. Yeah, our expectation has been to move as quickly as we can. Some people, I think, thought that might be the very end of the year. We won't know for sure until regulators say, yes, we have the green light. But we're optimistic. We acquired a company called Standard Custody, which had a New York DFS trust license. And there's a process you go through to kind of transfer that and how it's going to be used. We've had a great partnership with the New York DFS, Department of Financial Services, through a BIT license we've had for many years. And we'll continue to partner with them and work through that with them before we go live. Tell us a little bit about the use case. How does this really differentiate from your token itself? Because that's also been talked about, a payment system, right? Right. We've always used XRP, the digital asset that's kind of native to our technology stack. We've used that as a bridge asset to transfer money across borders. What we have found is that stablecoins, particularly US dollar stablecoins, has gone from a pretty small market to today it's about $170 billion worldwide. And people think that may end up being 2 to 3 trillion in about 5 years. given Ripple's place in the payments infrastructure, as well as a trusted brand partnering with financial institutions and regulators, we felt like there's an opportunity to enter the stablecoin market as that market continues to grow. We already have used stablecoins in our payment flows for certain corridors, depending upon whether you're going to the Australian dollar or the Philippine peso. Certain corridors, it's more efficient to use a stablecoin at times. So we always use what's best for the customer, and we decided to go live and build our own stablecoin, and excited to get live with that this year.
Thinking of building a stablecoin here in Japan, I mean, you said that the regulations here were clearer, but at the same time, is more of a conservative market, no?
You know, I think Japan has been a more conservative market in some ways, but I actually think that in some ways is also really healthy. Japan, more so than some countries around the world, leaned in early to provide regulatory clarity and passed legislation, both about stablecoins, but even further back, I think 2017 or 2018, the FSA here in Japan issued clarity and a kind of a taxonomy, a framework for how different cryptos would be regulated. And that has really allowed, I think, entrepreneurship and investment to thrive here in Japan. Now, as compared to the United States, which has really been behind, certainly Japan and the UK and behind Switzerland, so a lot of countries are leading, and Japan has been in many ways one. That's not to say they haven't been conservative about the regulation, but I think that can be really healthy. As long as there's clear rules of the road, entrepreneurs will work within them.
So if you're imagining a stablecoin in Japan, what's the time frame?
Well, I think right now, Ripple in particular is focused on let's get live with the US dollar stablecoin. Okay. But I think there will be, people will want to hold yen stablecoins, and I think that's only a matter of time. And I think the regulators here in Japan, again, about a year ago, passed some legislation around that, and there's some companies going through the licensing process right now to get live.
So right now, there's still this stigma about crypto being used by criminals and it's unregulated and all this stuff, when in reality, it's the regulator's fault for not regulating it because they want to regulate by enforcement rather than due process. And so because Ripple is virtually done with this lawsuit, they just have to wait for the SEC to see if they're going to appeal. Once it's over and they get the regulatory approval for their stablecoin and then all these other laws get passed about crypto, I believe we're going to see the market absolutely fly. So this pullback right here, if we look at the crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin, we compare it to the past, you guys can see some key things happen in the charts right here that are very similar to what we saw happen during this most recent bull run and even the bear market, where the true top of the altcoin market was right here alongside Bitcoin, you know, near like May and April of 2021, just like the top of the previous bull one was right here. We saw this massive sell-off back down to the 50 SMA. We saw this massive sell-off almost back down to the 50 SMA. We bounced up for a complacency dead cat bounce by the 15th of November of 2021. Similarly enough, how we bounced up to a complacency dead cat bounce. What this was an Elliott wave ABC correction. So as you guys can see on the left-hand side of the screen, this first initial sell-off was wave A. This B wave up was the dead cat bounce, where it didn't go as high as the previous high. And then the final wave C to the bottom was all the way down by November, December of 2018. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you can see the top right here. The A wave was right here, the B wave right here for the all-time high, and then the C wave all the way down here by like November or December of 2022. And so from the recovery at the tail end of 2022, early of 2023, we came back up to back test this A wave right here as resistance. We even back tested it right here on August of 2022 before we inevitably capitulated down to the bottom. And back in 2019, that's what we saw happen right here for the summer of July. We came all the way up here, very, very rapid, to back test this A wave as resistance, and then we got rejected from it. So we can see some similarities here, but the difference is on how rapid that recovery was because of how sudden this sell-off was for the last bull run. And so because it was a long drawn out consolidation phase at the bottom, and it was a lot more compact in terms of like the price appreciation, the upside from the C bottom to backtest the A wave as resistance, this was only a 50% recovery from the bottom. Whereas to go from December of 2018 all the way up here, it was a 270% recovery. And then we saw a much more steep sell-off from this point as we went into COVID. Now, if we look at some key things here in terms of the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA on where we were when we finally broke out of that range on July of 2020 to try and retest the all-time high after that, we saw this break of a key resistance. Then we saw this bull flag and this back test of it right here by like August of 2020 in this consolidation for a period of time that was roughly about 98 days. So a little over 3 months, almost 100 days before we finally broke out in November of 2020, then just started marching back up to the all-time high and blasting past that. Whereas on the right-hand side of the screen, when we finally broke this resistance in December of 2023, we kind of hovered at it. We didn't really come back down to backtest it all the way. I mean, we wicked off of the high of August of 2022, and then we marched up into this golden cross where the 50 SMA crossed above the 200 SMA, similar to how we marched up right here when this golden cross took place by September of 2020 during this consolidation phase. And so we see some similarities here where this bull flag that's taking place right now, where we see lower highs, lower lows. The 50 SMA is above the 200 SMA still. The real question is if the 50 SMA will stay above the 200 SMA, and if we'll see a bounce off the 200 SMA back up to this descending resistance right here. And then the real next question is if we trend higher, or if we come back down to backtest this horizontal support that was resistance since August of 2022. Similar to what we saw happen back here in like August of 2020 to September of 2020 before we finally broke to the upside. So if we were to see a scenario like this happen where we see another shakeout event back down to this, I don't think that would be too out of the ordinary there, because that would just be a backtest of the previous range as support. Simultaneously enough, if we just draw a trend line from the C bottom to October 2023's low right here, and we were to extend that out, it wouldn't be abnormal to see the altcoin market bleed out back down to this trend line before we see a massive bounce to the upside. Because if you guys look on the left-hand side of the screen on how much more rapid and fast these sell-offs were and how much more rapid and fast the recovery was in 2019 and how quick and sudden the price action was, whereas on the right-hand side of the screen, the price action was a little bit slower and more drawn out in terms of the sell-off and the recoveries. That's why this correction right now and the sell-off that's taking place is a little bit more slower and not as sudden. Could that have a lot to do with institutions buying up the dips? Also, the law of diminishing returns. As more money comes in the market, it takes a lot more money to move your favorite altcoins by market cap, because if we look all the way back down here when we broke out, we were only at $120 billion and then upwards of like $170 billion right around August of 2020 until November of 2020. Whereas right now, from like this March correction, we were at $1.2 trillion. So it took less money for the markets to move. That's why they move a lot quicker and it was a lot more rapid of a bull run. So I think this bull run will be a very good bull run where you can make a lot of money, but I don't know if it's going to be as rapid and as sudden as this COVID-induced bull run with the CARES Act, where they were putting stimulus money out there into the economy. And if we look back to the bull run before then on how even more rapid and sudden it was with these massive green candles to the upside, is because the market cap was all the way down at $90 million. I mean, a billionaire could come in here that's worth like $40 billion, like a Warren Buffett. Obviously, Warren Buffett wouldn't come in and pump the markets that we know of, but like if Bill Gates came in or whoever came in, they could drive one green candle through the stratosphere just with like $50 million. And so right now, just because it takes a lot more money, I don't think it's going to be as parabolic, but I do think we can see like a 3 trillion to a 5 trillion peak for this bull run. And that's why I'm going to continue to back up my truck all the way to the bank, even if we see more money flow out of the altcoin market, because you don't make your money when we're at all-time highs. You make your money when there are sell-offs in the markets and there's blood in the streets. So a lot of people have asked me, what is my number one way to earn massive crypto rewards this entire bull run before we get into the euphoria stage of the market cycle? Well, if you go to xrpl.to, you guys will see a lot of different altcoin projects listed on the XRP Ledger, and virtually nobody knows about this, nor is anyone really paying attention to it right now, because the price of XRP has been suppressed during the entire Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. But over the next few years, as Ripple and XRP gets more traction, a lot of the projects on the XRP Ledger are going to gain a lot of attention. And one of my buddies showed me a project on the XRP Ledger that is the first play to earn game on XRP where you're able to earn crypto rewards simply for playing the game. Now, if you guys want to see what that game is, what I'll do is I'll leave a link in the description below this video. All you have to do is click more when you scroll down. It'll show get started here. It'll take you to a page that looks like this. You simply just register, create a free account. You enter in your username, your email address, your password, and then your gender. And then you just click sign up at the bottom. And it's going to take you into the back office of the members area. Now, I want to explain really quick the benefit of playing this game to earn crypto rewards, because the coolest part about the game is the ticker of the altcoin is literally called crypto. It's a micro cap, very, very tiny project that virtually nobody knows about right now. And one of my buddies showed me this game, and I'm already earning about 10 crypto per day, which is about 1,000 XRP. But there's no guarantee that you're going to earn 10 crypto per day or 1,000 XRP per day, because your results are obviously going to vary playing the game depending at what level you come in at. So I want to be very clear that results aren't typical, and this is just purely for fun to see what happens for the rest of this bull run as the XRP Ledger gains more adoption. So once you've created your free account through the link in the description below, the next thing that you're going to need is an XRP wallet. Now, the best wallet online right now is the Zaman wallet, and it's the largest and most secure XRP custodial cold storage wallet. So it's also a mobile app on your phone where you get your private keys for the wallet, but the best for holding XRP. And this is what you're going to need to be able to play the game to earn crypto rewards. So again, below this video, you're going to see a tutorial video right here that breaks down exactly how to set up your wallet, how to be able to fund it with XRP so you can start playing the game, and everything in between. So after you've created your free community account and you have your XRP wallet, the next step is to log in to the back office of your account. And at the top, you're going to see these 4 little icons right here. You simply click this. You go to My DGP, you scroll down, and then you click Purchase Combo. In the bottom left, you're going to click this little plus icon, so it shows 1 combo pack. Click these little 3 boxes right here, and then you purchase with your XRP wallet. And then all you need to do is open up your Zaman wallet on your phone, click this little icon right here at the bottom, and then you simply scan the code on the screen. It's going to pop up. Right now, it's 5,000 XRP to get your digital game pieces to be able to play the game and earn crypto rewards. And I'm going to show you the game in a little bit and how awesome it is, because the founder of this dumped millions of dollars in development into this game and has been working on it since 2020. So this is hands down the best play to earn game to earn crypto rewards on the XRP Ledger. So I spent about 15,000 XRP on my digital game pieces because I want to be able to maximize the game. And so far, just recently, I'm earning 10 crypto per day, which is about 1,000 XRP per day. So you can do the math over the course of a month on what those rewards will look like. And I can swap crypto for XRP. So I'm just going to keep stacking my digital game pieces to maximize my crypto rewards, because you also have to take into account that crypto is the in-game currency. So as more people start catching on to the XRP Ledger and they start playing the game to earn rewards, then the popularity of the crypto token will increase. So obviously there's no guarantees of any profits here, but you do not want to miss out on this as more people start learning about XRP over the next few years. So all I'm going to do to get my digital game pieces is slide to accept on my XRP wallet, and it says the payment was submitted successfully. Now all I'm going to do is refresh the page. I go to My DGP Assets, that simply stands for digital game pieces, and you're going to see I got 1 Cryptopian, a Crypto Land, a box, a key, a vial, and a crystal. So I'm simply just going to click claim on each of these. I'm going to open my Zaman wallet again. I'm going to click this icon right here to scan the code on the screen, and I'm just going to slide to accept. And as soon as I've claimed my digital game piece, I'm going to click reveal, and it shows me what class this is in. And one of the coolest parts about this game is each of the digital game piece reveals are random, so you could get between a level 1 to a level 10. So I'm going to click claim to reveal the land now, and then I just scan the code and slide to accept on my XRP wallet. And it just shows this little countdown thing right here as it reveals which land I have. That was a level 1 land. You guys might get a different level. On a previous pack, I got a level 9. And depending on the level that you get determines the crypto rewards that you earn daily. Now, after you've revealed your digital game pieces to be able to play the game to start earning crypto rewards, in the top of your back office, you click the icon right here with the 4 squares. Then you simply click the game. And then you click the button on the center of the screen that says enter the game. And then you're going to see several in-game actions here like rent, mine, thieve, govern, rule, enhance, and bank. So depending on which avatar you got will determine whether you mine, you thieve, you govern, or you rule. And then for your land, you can collect rent on your land every single day in crypto, which is awesome. So in this case, I would click on thieve, click continue. So underneath available, I simply select my Cryptopian. I select the duration in days. In this case, it'd be 1. And then I click this little icon right here. It's going to pop up this, and it shows me the daily production. In this case is 0.4 crypto tokens. So depending on when you're watching this video, crypto might be at a different price. Right now, it's at about $53. So all I need to do is confirm the action, and it's going to say it's processed successfully. And then it's underneath active, and it has a countdown timer right here in terms of time remaining until it goes back into the available section again. So you can see 23 hours and 59 minutes. Now, once this is done, my crypto balance is going to top up with an extra 0.4. Right now it's at about 44.39. And if I go back to the main page and I click on rent and click continue, you can see that I have an available land that I can collect rent on. So I simply select the land. I select the amount of days that I want it to collect rent, 1 day, 3 days, or 7 days. So this can be as passive or as active as you want, but I'm gonna click this icon right here. It's gonna pop up and it's gonna show me the daily production, and then I just confirm the action. Now you can see underneath active, I have a level 1, level 4, level 8, and a level 9. And then it shows me the time remaining on each of these land pieces that are collecting rent right now in crypto rewards, which is awesome. And so at the bottom of the screen right here, you can see crypto total net. That's about 14.96 crypto tokens. So let's just round that up to 15. And if I were to swap 15 crypto for XRP, it's about 1,554 XRP. Now that's obviously not a guarantee that you're going to earn the same amount of crypto tokens, because as you can see, I have more pieces of land here because I decided to purchase more packs because I want to be able to stack up the amount of crypto tokens I earn over time throughout the rest of this entire bull run before we get into the euphoria stage. So I'm just going to continue to stack crypto tokens, playing this game for fun, because as more attention gets drawn over to the XRP Ledger, I can see more and more users playing crypto land for fun every single day to earn crypto rewards. So again, all you need to do right now to get started is go into the link in the description below this video, create your account. Once you have your Zamin XRP wallet and you've loaded it with XRP, following the tutorial below, then in the back office, you click the icon at the top, you click My DGP, and then you purchase your combo pack to be able to reveal your digital game pieces. So you can buy one or you can buy multiple right now, because the more combo packs that you get, the more pieces of land that you're going to be able to get to be able to collect rent on each and every single day. And then if you choose to get the crypto token on the secondary market, that's up to you. Or you can just play the game for fun to be able to earn crypto rewards like I'm doing right now. So once the time expires on each of these active pieces of land, I'm going to collect all of the rent in crypto, and it's going to top up my balance right here where you can see 44. So check it out. I know you guys are going to absolutely love it. And again, we're going to have a tutorial as well too on some different strategies, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, to be able to maximize this game. That way you can benefit the entire bull run as XRP explodes. So all you need to do right now is click the links below. If you go to bullrunners.com, you're also going to get early alerts on explosive altcoins, daily market analysis videos for breaking news updates like this, and you'll discover our best ways to be able to maximize the crypto land game to earn the most amount of crypto rewards this entire bull run. Because together, we believe that the spending power of the dollar is just going to keep going down in value. That's a fact based on inflation. Blockchain technology, distributed ledger technology, and cryptocurrencies have been going up in value over the past decade. That's the truth, and together, we're all going camping on the beaches of the moon. I'll see you guys on the next video. I will see you on bullrunners.com through the links below. As always, you know what to do. Stay bullish.